Okay, so far, and then we'll get Coach Self down here. Far away.
David, what do you think of Texas Tech and the rematch? What do they do well that you remember?
Offensively, I know they slip out of fade screen, so we have to be defensively sound and guarding that. We know they play with high energy. They're definitely going to want to get back game. Since the first time we played them, we know that they're, I think, if not the best, one of the best teams at taking charges. So we have to make sure we play off of 2 feet and make sure we're sound offensively as well.
David, you guys have won 4 straight games, all by double digits. What's kind of been the key down the stretch here for you guys as you enter this, last couple games?
We know that, sometimes we get off to slow starts or sometimes there's a little in the rim. So we lock in defensively and we try to make teams play worse. Coach always exaggerates the point that if you're not playing well, make the opponents play worse. And that's what we're really locking into.
Hey, Dave.
You guys play the way that you want to offensively. What does that look like to you, and how often do you feel like you guys have played to your ceiling on offense this year?
I definitely think we've had some spurts where we've done so. And then just playing to the best of our capabilities, just moving the ball, making the right drives, making the right passes. Everybody gets a quick touch, and then the basket comes easy. It's, very fluent, open, and quick offense.
Hey, Dave, Coach mentioned a couple times ago when we talked to him that he talked to you recently about getting off to better starts. And I just wonder for you personally, when you do start slow and have a little rough couple of minutes and then kind of take that break and come back in, what do you do to get yourself refocused or back on the right track to where you can put up these numbers that you've been putting up even with those slow starts?
Just having the right energy, staying positive and staying encouraged. You can't get too down on yourself, can't become discouraged. Otherwise, you won't have the right energy going back into the game. I think that cheering on your teammates, being involved, speaking, doing whatever you can in order to help your team to win is going to still put you in the right mindset to do the best of your abilities once you get back on the court.
Hey, along those same lines, you didn't start the season off the way you had hoped or anybody thought you would, and you stayed with it then too. When you look back, I know you're not done yet, but when you look back at your progression this year and the strides that you've made personally, what are you most proud of?
Just staying with it, just sticking with the process. A lot of people are going to have their opinions to say. A lot of people are going to try to put you down, but it's going to come with the game. You know how you play, your style, who the people or who has faith in you, and you just stick with them, continue to thank them for their appraisal and grow and build as the year continues.
Did you ever get too worried during that first couple weeks? Were you worried about your performance and hey, this isn't what I expected, or did that ever enter your mind?
Of course, I definitely thought like, all right, I don't know what's going on, or what is it that I can do to just kind of flip a switch and make everything work perfectly. But that wasn't the case, and I just had to get back to myself and playing, like I said, free mind, free heart, and get back to my strengths.
Got time for 1 or 2 more.
David, could you address the concept of the idea of using February to build momentum heading into March? Coach has talked about that in past years. This year's been a little bit choppy. Have you guys done enough this February to build that momentum? Is that an important concept to you, for the team as a whole?
Definitely. Even with choppy starts, even with slow starts, momentum is going to be the big key. Building up in February, if we get on the right roll, we get on the right streak, people find their shots, feel the hot hand, get into a groove. That's all that matters going into March. You just want to consistently build on the things that you've learned during the season.
Hey, Dave, I think Chris Beard yesterday said you're arguably the best big guy in the Big 12. You've earned some praise from a lot of the coaches around the league as conference play has gone on. What does that mean to you to hear that from another league coach?
I mean, it's an honor to think that other coaches think I can play at that caliber and that I'm that solid player that's considered to be a dominant big man. I hope to continue to be the best big man in the league and just be the best I can for Kansas and for my teammates.
David, what do you think about playing number 15, number 12, and number 2 in the next 3 games?
Besides the rankings, that it's just going to be a fun game. Like every game is going to have some energy behind it. It's going to work on. We have momentum on our side, so we're going to play with energy. We know that each game is going to mean something, so we just play our hearts out and leave it on the court.
Hey, David, where's the team pride factor or pride level right now? When did it dip, and what can you pinpoint to the surge in the team pride factor?
The pride factor right now is definitely at a high, just defensively, knowing that we have to get stops, knowing to take down shooting percentages, knowing to lock into a scouting report. And we did have a lull, I'm going to say some part in January, but it was definitely a players meeting, a players talk that we just have to play for each other, play for the name on the front of our jersey, and just lock in and focus and build this momentum going into March.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.